Oh, there we go, that's better. I got the WizRD now, and I just got into the video game. Now about being a cartridge of the video game. I'll show you our treats today. No, not your maybe thinker. What is that? A young egg in the rocks now, because I just got to keep this little egg and to sit there and to keep it there safe. I don't touch it there. Just stupid. Okay. Feelers are shiny. Okay. Now we're just gonna sit there and be warm and be warm. Have a banana. It's a brown banana. What does it say? Oh, I have some music to play. And I go commence into the cartridge. And if you remember this, then you'll be safe and you'll know that you're talking. And there's a banana. And they'll keep you on the air. Got to remember that we're going into the portal to the cartridge. And depending on the amount of their character recessive as my mind, and to corrupt some musical P. Oh no. Return to here and to see the tarot cards they're featuring. And Justin and yeah, the Master. Oops, I forgot that. That's so cool. And I see the cats that eat from a crunchy bag. And so we'll get them out of that game where they are stuffed animals. Where I am in the TV. And I can't get out over and I forget maybe. And there we are. Miracle child adult. Go to this adult. Press start. Now this is relearning to play the piano. On the screen that I'm trapped inside, you will see my image here. There it is. And what you're gonna do front roll. There we go. I got the P. Press A. So these things still exist here. I'm not trapped in a square black box with writing. Although I am. And that's what I'm talking about. Hello, could you see me now? And no, I don't think so. Oh, there I'm in the bottom. Yeah. Symbols and all these little pilly lines, and that's reality. The rest of this cat forms to the original people. Well, oh, I've got to also talk about the tarot. Remember the tarot flipping? Yep, let's think about that. I don't know really. Yeah, oh, and this piano says, oh, harder, press harder. Also, I got the relearn piano. Yes, I amnesiac memory of this moment inside the hello piano. I hit A. I'm gonna sit the white. Yeah, after that. Those are kind of pretty. Finding middle C. Middle C is the right key to the left of the two black keys. In the middle, no, decide what's the middle. Decide 2, the left of the 2. So that's 2. After that, both of them empty. 4 times after my time. Yeah, try that, and we'll go again. Some of them say it's like harder. Oh, it's not. Oh no, its brains aren't in the right conscience. Oh no, the fuck on, I have a vision. Where's this? Go to the library. How the... No. Hello folks, it's day 2 here now. We're trapped into the piano. Game. To summon the circle cat gobbler through the cartridge now. We're going to keep going to see if we can remove this off the system. I've got to explain the welcome to the copy of the teaching system. This is the chalkboard where everything is explained. Press the A button when you finish reading it. You can also press the B to go back on the lesson. Or select for a list of other things to do. Now try pressing A. A. Try A. You're A. Get your... It doesn't even have a middle C. Okay. So I don't have any idea or memory of what I've done with amnesia, but here we go. I just press a button on 4 times it said. Alright. Good thing for reading. I don't know what I'm doing. Playing by numbers. Now that you've found middle C, let's fit your other fingers in. Give each finger a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's undo your fingers on 1 to 5. Hey, you're ready to start. Okay, which one is A? 1, 2, 3. Okay, pretty well. But they're hard to hear. A little harder next time. Let's move on. Alright, so moving on. I'm gonna fuck with the break right now. I don't you, and then I'll just curl your fingers slightly and keep your knuckles up, sort of like there's a tennis ball in your palm. Then use your tips of your fingers to hit each key. You'll do the same notes. Just forget about it. Don't just say what my shape is doing. You're the safe one. Demo. Metro-gnome. Oh, I can breathe, so that little bugger hugs me when I'm crying. Get out of here! Metro-gnome! Now we're going up this steep learning curve. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the problem boy here about the metronome. I'm the little beats will tell you how fast you can listen to the miracle plant. I'm ready to come on with me, little metronome. Come with the variety roll. Oh, metronome. Thank you for letting me just flop out up here. A little bit. So refreshing. Okay, where? thought the comic could. Oh yeah. Oh, you did it now, but no longer. Oh, that was faster. Okay. I'm saying it's a little faster. Oh no. Assemble every time. We're going to pianist assemble. Let's keep going. Let's try the lesson again. I don't feel it will slowly judge. Okay, now. Yeah, no. I don't want to go so. I'm going too fast a little. We're now on the rail. But it's... No, you don't even play at the note. Oh, fuck. No, me. Oh, thanks. I'll do it even faster. Okay, let's go even faster with the metronome. All three of them. Oops, I fumbled. Stop. I'm trying to listen to grunt. A little bit faster. 1, 3, 4. Oh no. I really felt like I was hitting the metronome. I'll just buzz under my fingers, why don't you? I just clenched my leg, I couldn't even do it. Come on. There's the metronome. Oh yeah, report. You deserve a round of applause. No one moves the tempo up. Oh great, then you move up. 3, 4, go. Get out of the television set I'm looking through! Camel cow, how do we get out of this place? I was trapped in the place of the piano TV set. Can't change this game, can't you tell? Let me out, little cat, this cat in there, up on the shelf, and there's a mad world, and I get it up, just say it every day, the sunset, and in a water, Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What happened, Master? Oh. That's gonna be weird. You know, if it does keep going into this TV set, there's, really the only thing that seems weird in existence. So let's disagree. I must be able to go to another place. Go this way. Not even the hang some boring around. Okay, one solid. That's awful. No. Fine, not what it is. Okay, let's try to go to the shop. Take some piano and just say, the wall space that's here. Okay, your turn, you try it. Finally, a report. Good job. Now let's try a little faster. Alright. Now we get there. We're going. No. Oops, oh my gosh, I'm come up again. Oh, you're just so mad. I can't even help it. Let's go. Come on. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, a little faster. Go. Oops. I don't want to play with me. You won't get into this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, once more. Faster. No, it's faster. Oh, you don't know how fast I want to go. Okay, let's stay going. Yes, good job. Now we're still beating up the metro-gnome. Okay, now I see we're going to look so what's the timing. Get out of the car. We're making progress. I'm gonna try again. Okay, we'll go. that. Oh man. Oh God. I'm gonna put you in the fuel. I'm gonna burn the fuel. Oh man. Okay. Looks like here before AMP was the lead. With the feet. So I'll have to walk out there and also okay, let's go. Let's go. Want to play with the metro-gnome. Go. Oh, this is gonna shut them up. Oh no, drop the new brother. Do it. Oh my God, wait on. Down, because you're going to say no. Oops. I'll play it again. Okay, let's go, metro-gnome. Oh, metro-gnome. I'm gonna just practice right here. Beat the beats with the beat. Beats. Practice. Don't get stuck on me. Alright, that's a little bit better. Trying to push the noise fast now using my brain push down key. Oh, double again. Oopsie. Oh, darn it. Oh, what the part of you get a little bit stringy with most stuttering sounds. Well, we're probably going to process here. Practice Rubberman! Okay. Oh no. Oh, Rubberman. Okay. This is just so terrible. No, so terrible. Mention. No! I'll clear from the demo. Okay. Great. Uh-oh, I'm just, oh, there's a... Finish down. That's because of the demo. Okay, my turn. Terrific. Okay, now let's get into the beating. My turn. Would you go, metro-gnome? You know, let the metro hold. Oh, they're telling you. Go, metro-gnome. metro-gnome. Just practice right here. Beat the beats with the beat the beats. No, practice like the premise. Don't get soft on me. Alright, that's a little bit better. Trying to push the noise fast enough using my brain push down key. Oh, double again. Oopsie. Oh, there you go. Darn it. Oh, what part of you get a little bit stringy about stuttering sounds? Well, apparently you're going to process here. Practice problem again. Okay. Oh no. Oh, little one. Okay. This is just terrible. No, it's your turn. Mention. No! I'll get some demo. Great. Uh-oh, I'm just there's a... finish down. That's because of the demo. Okay, my turn. You're terrific. Okay, now let's get into the beating. My turn. Would you go, metronome? You know, the metro hole. Oh, they're telling you, get through this. Through the metronome door. Oh, good job. No. Let's try again. I got this one. Oops, I did not over the off and take the foot. Oops, a little rhythm brewing here. Problems brewing. And the dog's a bit of smell. Oops, got to undo it again and try the lesson again. Okay. We'll find out. Oops, some of the problems. Okay. I love you, metronome, I love you. With a hug with your pretty hat. Okay. Okay. It's time to relax. Trouble. Hear the TV. A little starting to pay off. Okay, I know these are random messages to bring to the floor. You just got to practice 100 times to let you feel good. Thanks, piano. Oops. Trouble timing. Try again. I love how you're practicing, teacher piano. You get through threshold of no. There's no surrounding on time. Right. Listen to a miracle plant. No, thank you. No. We'll go to the welcome screen, and maybe we'll find a way out there. What about today? No. You want to try? Give a play. Let's the moving. Oh, there's stuff to go. Oh no. I didn't get her into the hospital. Okay. I'll just turn my volume up a little bit. And there we go. Now the mouth, now the mouth, now the mouth, now the mouth, oh, yeah. I'm getting the screen. Oh, did you make it sound again? Can I get that player on the blue screen? I'll hold the controller up and press the button. Okay, let's go. No, okay, I can't get out. Nothing what to do with touching it. I'll have to get it out, trust me. It's the way through it is to get through it and play. I'll set it up and someday, hopefully, we will escape from this cartridge of free alcohol. But I entered in this domain through no intention of my own, except some re-extracting the Torcat Gobbler entity of doing it in the lava lamp. I think we can safely say that we walked through the wrong end of a brilliant barrel cloth. Now. Well, this has been good, huh? This is day 2 here now. We're trapped into the piano game. To summon the circle cat gobbler through the cartridge now. We're going to keep going to see if we can remove this off the system. I've got to explain the welcome to the copy of the teaching system. This is the chalkboard where everything is explained. Press the A button when you finish reading it. You can also press B to go back on the lesson, or select for a list of other things to do. Now try pressing A. A. Your A. Get your, it doesn't even have a middle C. Okay. So I don't have any idea of memory of what I've done, the amnesia. But here we go. You just press it one time on 4 times, it says. Alright. Good thing for reading. Don't know what to do. Play by numbers. Now that you found riddle C, let's fit your other fingers in. Give finger.
I draw the line in picking my nose. Anyway, okay, so... Okay, so...
What's a different shape?
So this is, again, a spread that I learned from Andrew McGregor. So we're talking about you're trying to find a way to get past your feelings of frustration. That feeling of I know best. And from what you've been telling me, it's been causing you a bit of inner turmoil in terms of approaching how you think about your relationships. I'm guessing coworkers.
Like literally it just happened, right?
All right. So first card. What's the blessing here? What is the positivity that you could gain out of this emotion, out of these emotions you've been feeling? Because
it's good for self-reflection to be able to step back and reflect for a moment. But like better to not do it in the first place.
Sure. I mean, and even situations or sort of circumstances that are negative have some kind of blessing to offer us. What's the negativity here? This is this card. What are the negative energies that are coming out of these emotions and these situations that you need to be aware of? Sorry, I need to go back to my notes. Thank you. Okay. So, what is the energy available to you? So, in general, what is the universe? What is the universe? What is the spirit offering you in terms of the energy that you can use to deal with in a constructive way these issues that you've been talking about? And what's the free will? So the free will is what can you do in a practical sense to deal with these emotions, to deal with these situations in a way that is successful and productive for you. Okay?
Cool.
All right.
Let's do it.
So, what's the blessing here? The blessing here is the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is a card of... It's a very complex card. It's kind of, I think, now, it is eerie, almost, that you mentioned self-reflection. Because if you look at this card, he's got this harvest here. But from his face and from his expression and stance, what do you think he's doing?
Bummed.
Why do you think he looks bummed?
I don't know why. He has lots of buttons.
So he's kind of looking at his harvest, and he's not quite, he's got his hoe there, but he's not quite going for it yet. Maybe he's bummed out. Maybe he's, as you said, self-reflective. Maybe he's meditating on what he's been given and what he's been offered. So this is often seen as a card of self-reflection, where you hesitate. And maybe it could be out of disappointment, or maybe it could be out of you, again, taking a step back and not rushing into the harvest right away, and being, as you said, self-reflective. So what are the obstacles? What are the things that are getting in your way? The Queen of Pentacles. So here the Queen of Pentacles shows up in a different way. As an obstacle card, your frustrations, you're very much acting in here. I think this is very much, actually quite representative of you, in the sense of you were the queen. You are the regal master of the material realm, of the practical, not the emotions, not the mental, not spiritual energy, but the real, the physical realm. You are the reigning monarch, and you think that you know best. So you are the queen, and you're in charge. So this is kind of, I think, speaks very well, I think, because you think you know how to make this garden bloom. You think you know how to rule from your throne. And I think that speaks really well to what you've been talking about in terms of that sort of domineering attitude. I think that kind of is what comes out for me. So what's the energy here? What's the energy that's being offered to you? And oh, wow. So you've got the Seven of Cups here. You have been given a lot of opportunities, a lot of possible avenues for you to go based on what you've been given here. So there are many possible avenues open to you. Maybe adopting a more open stance towards people. Maybe adopting a more open stance. Maybe forging on ahead and continuing to believe that you are always right about everything. Or maybe a middle ground where you still try to honor your own experience and your own knowledge about things, but at the same time being open to what other people are doing. The general point is you have a lot of possible options open to you in terms of dealing with this and best using this to your advantage. So the free will open to you. The Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune being, in a positive way, the luck card. And given what I've seen so far, what you've been talking to me, you mentioning what just happened with Andrew, for example, this speaks to me as an openness. Being self-reflective about what you're doing, mainly this, in a negative way. And being open to when things like this happen, when, for example, Andrew deciding to film me, or maybe going to a shop and seeing things happen in a way that are not fully the way that you think they should be going, letting it go and just saying, well, it happens, and maybe it might not happen in the way that I want, but if I try to force things to happen in the way that I want without being self-reflective, maybe that might make things worse. And there are many ways to do that. There are many ways to let go. There are many ways to accept things as they are, instead of trying to force them to what you might think they should be. So, that's the first stage of this. Now, how do you feel about this? How do you feel especially about these cards? Do you think that they're cards that genuinely speak to you? Or do you think that they're cards that don't really apply to your current...
I think anything can apply.
Okay.
Right? But I think that's an interesting perspective.
So what's really nice about this spread is that there are two ways this could go. If you think that you can accept what you've been offered here, then we go on into step 2. But if you don't think that it doesn't really speak to you, speak to your experience, speak to your feelings or emotions right now, or your life situation, then that's it.
No, I feel like it's good. I feel good about it.
All right.
I feel like it's true.
So let's go on then to step 2. Step 2 is I take the sum total of these cards. There are numbers associated to these cards, and here's where a little bit of numerology comes in. I've got a 7, I've got a 10, and a 7, so that's 24. The Queen is seen as card number 13, that's 24 plus 13, which is 37. I'm going to reduce that number 37. Wait a minute. 7, 14, 24 plus 13 is 37, right?
Yeah.
37. I'm going to 37. I'm going to take that card and then take that number and then reduce it to 3 plus 7. And 3 and 7 is 10. So I'm going to take 10, which is this card. 10 is the number given to the card in the Major Arcana. There are two classes of cards in the tarot deck. There's the Major Arcana, which are cards like the Lovers, the Fool, the Magician, the Devil, the Tower, and this card. And then there's the Minor Arcana. The Minor Arcana are the suit cards, like these cards. So it's interesting because this card, your free will card, is also the card that is going to represent how you are going to interact with all of these cards that have come up in our reading. Now, this could be another card entirely. This could be a different card. It depends on the numbers. So, how does fate affect this guy? How does fate affect your blessing? Well, you could be given by chance an opportunity to do more self-reflection. An opportunity to be more like this guy, kind of looking back and instead of acting right away, stepping back and thinking, well, what should I be doing here? Is it time for me to act and to reap my harvest? Or maybe it's time that maybe I've been given a chance by fortune to step back and let things go, let things develop naturally. And given the vicissitudes of fate, you may be given opportunities to do this more often. If you look at the Wheel of Fortune and how the Queen of Pentacles interacts, well, fortune and fate are very fickle things. It's fate, it's random. We don't know what's going on, we don't know what's going to happen. And people that take on a queen or a king aspect, they want to, more often than not, trying to deal with the uncertainty of fate by trying to impose their will on things. Uncertainty makes us anxious and afraid in general. It makes all of us afraid. It doesn't matter our station in life or circumstance or mindset. We're afraid of the future. We're afraid of what we don't know. And perhaps this is an opportunity for you to understand that there are things that happen that we can't control. And instead of trying to impose our will, our regal will on fate, this is an opportunity perhaps to instead use to instead be aware of that, to be careful of that. Because it's when we're most afraid, especially of fate and the unknown and chance, that our negative aspects can be especially pronounced. And going on to the Seven of Cups, to the energies being offered to you, fate might give you an opportunity might give you more of an opportunity than you might think to properly resolve this. Fate might give you more opportunities than you might have thought were available to you. But there could be opportunities coming in the future to spend more time on your own, to be more self-reflective. Maybe you might be given an opportunity to have conversations about how problematic situations have arisen, and you might be given the chance to have conversations about how you can better deal with that. And so I think seizing these opportunities will be important for you in dealing with that. So how do you feel about this?
Really interesting. It's really cool. Like about to lots of different things, but it's really neat.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I think what I've learned these days is there are so many opportunities, so many avenues to dealing with your to dealing with negative aspects in general that we often don't think about, which could be something as simple as meditation, guided meditation. It could be spending time with people who are very close to you and having conversations where you might be confronted with aspects of yourself that you might be uncomfortable dealing with. Fate might give you more of these opportunities going forward, and it will be up to you to exercise your free will to take advantage of them and to see them for what they are. Maybe especially when you do feel those feelings of wanting to go right in and try to correct people, to correct situations. This might be a chance for you to step back and not rush in. Anyway, yeah. So that's kind of
That's neat.
yeah.
Very cool. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You can stop your video. Panning around.
Okay, so say do you? Well, look at some tarot cards. I will look at the book today about the WizRD. And look at this. We have a picture with some cards in it. I think you'll see. I don't know what you're looking at. Cards. Well, I read this to you about the information magic. What does the magic cloak do? I wonder where my familiar is. How can I talk to the dragon? Information magic answers all your questions and more. Well, all wizards use information magic. It is used the most extensively by the detectives of the wizard's world, who use information spells to solve mysteries and prevent crimes. I'm thinking, Waldo. Anyway, blah blah blah, shut it up, and cards. Yes, today we're going to look at the cards. Cards are the first objects which you will learn to cast information spells. By casting a spell and laying out these cards, you will learn the answers to your questions. Each of these special cards has a picture on it with two meanings. If the card is facing the right direction, other if it's reversed, that when you lay the cards out, you place them face down in a specific pattern. Where each position is a different part of your question. You flip the cards over, you'll try to puzzle out what the card answer to your questions are by looking at the card and up in which position. And the master tarot reader was so kind as to provide me with a pack of cards. And today we look at this urban what and got those nice set, and it comes with a booklet, so we can look at it, and a number of cards just to see the back, so it matches. It's very, very good. How about we go look at yes, guys, okay. He's getting a video game cartridge. And that explains this where we are is in the cartridge. Yeah, we're not outside of it. We're inside. Okay, so we're going to try to get out. But for the time being, we've got to live in the thing. No, no. Let's thank you all for joining my making the video. Please like it. It's very good watching. Just on subscribe. Again, like to have yeah, see what are we doing next time?